It's been 3 days since I uploaded my initial reaction to Charlie Kirk's death, and while scrolling through all sorts of videos, comment sections, and forums, I have a general idea of some common talking points that have been thrown around to try to either minimize or downplay the level of sadness or shock one should have towards Charlie's death. I'm not talking about people who are celebrating it outright or being insulting or insensitive. These are more so voices that don't exactly love Charlie Kirk. Some of them will condemn the killing, but usually follow it up with something like, but look, we shouldn't be expected to shed a single tear for this individual because look at what he said, and then insert shocking slash controversial slash evil opinion here. And look, you shouldn't be expected to shed any tears for him if you genuinely don't feel like doing so. If you're not a fan or found him despicable, that's fine. I'm not going to shame anyone for merely not being sad. It's the second part of that statement I'm interested in. The things he has said that give people justification to say things like, yeah, I have little to no sympathy for him. Now, he's had a long career where he said a lot of controversial things. I'm just pointing out the quotes, sound clips, or opinions that I see most commonly. And if you've been exploring social media's reactions to his death, you'll probably know which one I'm talking about, or you just saw the one that I mentioned in the title of this video.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
So this is by far the one I see the most. This clip is played by both the smooth brainers who are celebrating his killing and the more rational people who don't agree with killing him but state they don't care or have no sympathy because of opinions like this.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
So I've listened to just this clip, and I've also listened to it in its full context. It's about a 3-minute video, and in both cases, I wholeheartedly disagree with some gun deaths a year being worth it. He compares it to car accidents, how they kill so many people every year, but people don't ban automobiles because of their immense utility to everyday life. Now you can criticize that analogy by questioning the utility of cars versus guns for the average citizen, return of investment versus cost type shit, that's fine. But if someone told me they want to ban cars because of how many people are killed in accidents, I don't think I could ever say the sentence, I think it's worth it to have some people die so we can have our cars. We need our cars. They are important and necessary to so many people. My response would be more like, banning cars outright is crazy, but people dying from car accidents is a real problem. How do we reduce the deaths without having to ban cars? I mean, let me know if I'm feeling myself a little too much, but I think that's a more rational way to have a conversation like that. And the frustrating thing is, Charlie himself throws out suggestions and ideas on how to reduce the amount of death and suffering caused by guns.
That you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. Right. You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home, yes, by having more armed guards in front of school. People say, oh, Charlie, how do you stop school shootings? I don't know. How did we stop shootings at baseball games? Because we have armed guards outside of baseball games. That's why. How do we stop all the shootings at airports? We have armed guards outside of airports. How do we stop all the shootings at banks? We have armed guards outside of banks. If our money and our sporting events and our airplanes have armed guards, why don't our children?
Like the entire 3-minute clip I would have had zero problem with, but I have to agree with the lefties that the "it's worth having some gun deaths" comment was asinine. I can't imagine the pain of someone losing a loved one from a shooting or a car accident and saying, well, hey, I think it's worth it at the end of the day because look how important guns and or cars are for us. So like I said, asinine. But back to the broader point, I don't like that he said this. I don't think he should have said this. It's a terrible stain on what was overall an okay measured response slash take. And it's offensive and insensitive to people who've dealt with the worst of it. I can hold that opinion and still be sad and sympathetic to the fact he got shot in the damn neck and died. Is there any irony in there? Perhaps. I won't be a complete buzzkill. But people use this clip as serious justification that we're really better off without him. This is what he wanted and what he was okay with. What comes around goes around. And other brain-dead reactions. Let me know if I'm off the mark with this and why. This really is more of an argument about how I feel and observing why people with a different view feel the way they do.